Thank you. Good morning, football maniacs. Welcome to another exciting show. It's international football, and we can't wait for it to start.
Good morning, also.
Well, good morning, sports lovers. There's something I used to see, and it becomes like when you say hypothesis becomes theory, then theory becomes proven. Is when players who put up 1,000% for the club and just 2% for the national team. It's a problem, and I hope that does not repeat itself today. I'm looking out for some players that I have loved so far, and I have seen them this season. They've put up the numbers. Let's see them replicate those numbers for the national side.
Okay, remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports, and this week is International Week. Nigeria is playing tomorrow, so tomorrow we'll sit down and dissect how that game is going to happen 5 p.m. tomorrow. But we'll talk about other games that happened around Afcon yesterday. I'll give you the features of the games happening today. So we'll start with the African qualification yesterday. Eswatini and Cameroon played at a 0-0 draw in that game. Like Tunisia winning, going away to win Liberia 1 goal to Madagascar, trashing Central African Republic 4 goals to 1 in that encounter. But I think the surprising result here yesterday is the Cameroonian game, drawing away to Eswatini. It's surprising for me. When I saw the result, I was like, what is happening here? These guys that I don't even, I think they are, how many are they in their country? And they are drawing against Cameroon. I think good result for them.
No doubt, good result for Eswatini. No doubt, good result on the whole. Like we keep saying here on the show, that there are no small teams in African football. I felt that, Cameroon should have at least had what it takes to at least come away with a win. But they came there and they said clearly, thou shalt not pass, thou shalt not score, and we are going to sit behind our post and make sure that, or in front of our post, and make sure that you don't get anything on the day. But then, could it be a lack for effort on the Cameroonian side? I wonder.
Okay, now so that game is surprising results for you too, pa.
It not surprise me. It's not surprised because I said that surprises can come up here and there, and that surprise I already expected it. So when you expect something, you shouldn't be surprised about it. But I just felt like my boys could have done better. They could have gone on. We predicted 3-1 here for Cameroon, but I know that yes, if my boys don't put up the work like that, like I said before the show, you don't put up 1,000% for the club, and in the national team side, you're putting up just 2%. You're not completing your take-ons. You're not completing your area duels. You're not even pushing the attack like you used to do for Brentford and the other. So I just feel like the players in the Cameroonian side did not give enough to get the result. And that's why I just made the statement in the beginning of the show that the players on the Cameroonian side did not give enough to get the result.
Probably can give kudos to the home team.
Leave the kudos to the home team.
Yes.
Leave kudos to the home team. It's just like Como Inter Milan when they play 1-1 draw, 0-0 draw. You cannot give kudos to Como for playing a draw. You give the what's it called, the placard to Inter Milan for not putting up the performance to get or close out the game.
Yeah.
It's not about Como putting up performance. If I didn't show up on the night, the 10-year-old boy will not have the opportunity to be like, I'm the king. Goliath did not show up. That's why David is the king. Cameroon did not show up. That's why Eswatini feels like they are the boss, and that's what Rwanda is going to ride on right now.
Okay, let's see what happens in these games. It was a good result for Eswatini in that game, drawing against Cameroon. It's a huge result for them. For today's qualification for Africa, Mozambique will play Uganda, Zimbabwe will play Benin Republic, Malawi will play, and Namibia, Cape Verde will play Mauritius, and Libya will play Angola, Sierra Leone will play Guinea-Bissau, Gambia will play Kenya, and Comoros will play Mali. I think part of the team, let's talk about Mali because that's where we bought our own coach, our own Nigerian coach now against Comoros. What do you think will happen in that game? Let's get your prediction for that game.
Like I say, it's going to be a close one because, like we said, there are no small teams in Africa, and Comoros can just come away with another draw like we saw yesterday. So, but normally you would give it to Mali if they show up. That's the thing.
Okay. Now, so who is in that game?
Comoros.
Why do you say Comoros?
Last Afcons, last qualifications, I see how they put up the fights, get through to it. But World Cup qualifications is not something you can just put up the fight the same way you put up the Afcon qualifications. But I just feel like the results so far, where they were 4 years ago and where they were 2 years ago, are not the same. And where they are now is not even compared to where they are 5 years ago. So I feel like they've been on the uprise and they are expecting to get something out of this one.
Okay, let's talk about Zimbabwe and Benin Republic. Who wins today?
Gareth driving picking Bigo. It's just, I don't know if it was the Super Eagles job back because he's just talking everything about Super Eagles. I don't know, but I just feel like this man should just focus on his job. He's one of those qualification specialists. He can qualify for the tournament, but win the tournament, mba. So if he's focused on talking about Super Eagles, what they've done right and what they've done wrong over the years, he should focus on Benin Republic and see if he can get them into the competition proper and win the and at least go far in the competitions, because he's one of those coaches that 2 matches to go, you've already qualified, and right now they are feeling like they are on the verge of qualification. So he can see anything he wants to say about other countries, but I just feel like he should focus on his job.
John?
Yeah, I share the same sentiment. You have managers who cast shade on other clubs to get appointment offers when they feel like the team is going sideways with those managers and their jobs at the point in time. But in this encounter, you are talking about your own personal game. Even though you feel like you've qualified, focus on yourself, focus on your team, and focus on the game in hand of you. Otherwise, you could go into that game and come away with a loss, and then you lose credibility.
Okay, talking about them again, let's talk about Libya and Angola finally. Who do you think will win in that game?
I'll be backing Angola, though I know it's going to be a tough match, but Angola.
Also,
I won't get players pass now. People get when we watch Premier League, we don't see any player from Libya. We dey see Angola, even championship football, La Liga, we dey see Angolans. We don't see Libya play. They're scarce for top leagues. So we say because of that, we say people from top leagues. But in African football, when you come down to African football, the physicality is different. It's compact football, physical and everything. So I just feel like Libya has the players to play physical football, and maybe they can get a draw in this one.
okay, let's see what happens in African qualification throughout today. It's happening today, but Nigeria is playing tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll talk about Nigeria, but today let's see who qualifies for the World Cup from Africa. Okay, let's dive into Europe immediately. And National League quarterfinal is starting today. They are playing both of them at the same time. They are playing World Cup qualification and they are playing National League games the same time in Europe. For quarterfinals today, happening today, Netherlands will play Spain, Croatia will play France, Denmark will play Portugal, and Italy will play Germany. Talking about Spain, Spain are the defending champions in Europe for the quarterfinals of the National League. These are the teams that are qualified. You know that all the top teams that are qualified from their group, I think Group A to Group D, will play this quarterfinals of this competition. Now, look at these teams play. Let's start with Netherlands and Spain. They are the defending champions in Europe. They are playing Netherlands. They are a good side, but Spain have one of the best qualities in Europe when you talk about national team right now. I think them and France and even Portugal. But let's talk about Spain. Spain playing Netherlands. What do you think will happen today?
I saw the lineups and I'm saying to myself that we have, I think, a couple of Euro finals and World Cup finals, playing out today, because you see the Spain, Netherlands, you see the Italy, Germany. If you go back again, you can see some other games there. Good games laid out for today. But talking about Spain, Netherlands, yes, Spain are the defending champions, no doubt. And in this encounter, it's going to be hard for Netherlands to win Spain. And that's just my opinion, because let's not forget that on the day, even in the competition we saw in the last Euros, Netherlands were struggling to score goals to accelerate their chase of the title. So I don't see who is going to score for them today.
Also, that game is going to be interesting. Spain is expected to win that game, but Netherlands can surprise them.
With this change of coach from LVG to Coman, from Coman back to LVG, back to Coman now, I just feel like, bros, make your stand. If these coaches are not working, bring in somebody else, bring somebody new, bring somebody fresh, do something different, because this from back to forth, from forth to back is becoming a problem for the selection of the team this year. I ask myself, it has plenty of question marks around it. The selection of the team, though all the players in that team are good players, but collectively, can they do the work that Coleman needs them to do for the national team side? And I feel like going into this game, the Spanish team have already been together for a long time. They've gelled, according to we say, they don't gel, they don't do together, they don't cement themselves together. So it's going to be hard for the Netherlands side to break them down and get the results.
Okay, it's going to be hard, but everybody is expecting Spain to win. But Netherlands can surprise them. Anything can happen in football. But if you look at that fixture, it's going to happen at 15 minutes to 9 today at 8:45. So let's see who is going to win, go into the semi-final of the National League. They created that trophy. They were playing friendly. They decided to create a trophy out of their own friendly to make it a competition. So they have been playing that competition. I think this is the third edition of that competition. So let's see who is going to qualify for the semi-final between Netherlands and Spain. Talking about the other games happening in the quarterfinal of this National League is Croatia will play France. France are, I think, after this particular World Cup, the champ probably going to leave the national team. They will find the new coach, but he has done well for this national team. He has won the World Cup, reached the semi-final and the finals of the Euros, but he didn't win the Euros. I think he's trying to win that competition, but it's still hard for him to win it. But he won the World Cup, which is the ultimate prize. They are playing Croatia that they have old guards there, but the young boys are not probably doing well now. But for France, they have the Ulysses, the Mbappe, the man topping PSG's top chart, the highest goal scorer in Europe now, Dembele. They have a whole lot of young boys playing in that team that can actually trouble Croatia. But in this game, France to win or Croatia to surprise them?
I think France to win, no doubt.
France is going ahead.
France
I don't know how we are seeing it
doubt.
differently. You can't field in 35, an average team of 31, and expect them to come ahead and win the game against a team of an average age of perhaps 27. That's the difference between Croatia and France right now. The age bracket in the Croatian side is just too much. You have most of their players plus 30. You get why in the France national team you have more plus 27, more plus 27s and more of plus 21s than the 31s. And so I just feel like the average age if you don't have a proper blend of youth and experience, you have a problem in the team. And I think that's one thing Croatia has missed out on for a very long time. They should go back and start digging out all the young players in their side and put them with this and mix them with these old men that are very, very excellent in their jobs, and see if they can get the best out of them.
This France team, I'm interested in who is going to play as a striking position. Is it Mbappe or Dembele? Because Dembele has been playing as a number 9 for PSG since December, and he's been scoring goals everywhere. Mbappe has been playing as a striker for Real Madrid and been scoring goals. So who do you think will make that number 9 position
For me,
today?
you know, there are two dynamics to this team sheet and who is going to start in which position. Number one is the general pecking order, who is the star player. If it's by that one, obviously Mbappe. If we are to go by form, bro, you have to put Ousmane Dembele in that position straight up. Yes.
Where do you think Mbappe should try?
Mbappe off the left. Yes, straight up.
So they look it up now. You have your two players, your two best players.
I'll play 4-4-2.
Godwin, calm down.
You know they work for France.
Godwin, calm down.
If it were Benzema and Giroud, I would say yes, but no.
You have your two best players, one from the right, one from the left. They can always run diagonal, get into the box. You put in a striker that can hold up play in front of them. Once he holds up play, you give the ball the long ball. Once he holds up play, anybody making the run into the channel, he drops the ball for the person. Now, this is a case you say your strikers. This is not a team where you say your strikers don't need to score goals, because you have the players who are scoring the goals for fun from the flanks, and they'll get the best numbers for themselves playing from the flanks.
There'll never be a situation where you say a striker doesn't need to score goal because that's his score KPI.
Now in the midfield, if you're going to play like that, you have a 4-2 in the front. They've done it at Real Madrid, Vini and Kylian Mbappe. If you can do it as France national team, you need to have a very creative force in between them and the number 10 position. So you are playing a 4-4-2 diamond. It feels like a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, but you're playing a 4-4-2 diamond where there's one person, two center midfielders that can go box to box, and one defensive midfielder. There's one attacking midfielder in front of them. Then you have your best team starting for you. So probably Griezmann in front there.
Griezmann has retired.
I'm just saying, I'm giving you a number now. Like Griezmann in front there, only say probably can be there. Any other person can be there. I just give you from the top of my head, Griezmann, Olise, who else can be there? And you have your two center midfielders. And your defensive midfielder, and you're good to go.
Okay, let's see what happens. How he's going to set up his formation. You see, he has still Mwani from Juventus. He still have Thuram from Inter Milan in his striking position. He have a whole lot of guys. And this young boy that plays for PSG, is it Bakola?
Yes, Bradley
Bakola. Is he a striker he plays from the flank? So
numbers plenty.
I'm curious to see how he's going to set up his team today. If he's going to play Ousmane Dembele and Mbappe as a striker, or play them off the wings, and probably play a striker with complementing both of them. But obviously, both of them have to start today because both of them are one of the most informed players in Europe.
It's just going to be a front four that will tick. It's not just about the front three. If you're playing a fleet, like if you see the PSG side, they play a fleet formation, it's going to be a front four that will tick. Everybody knows what they understand what the assignment is. Make diagonal runs, make runs, switch your play. Everything should have to work for them to get the result against Croatia.
Okay, let's see what happens in that quarterfinal game for Croatia. They still have their talisman Modric still playing for them. I think he's going to sign a contract. I think they are talking to me with him to sign another contract, 1 year contract with Real Madrid to stay in that club for one season. He's an old guy. I think he's 38 years now, but he's still firing. He's still winning games for Real Madrid. And I probably drive Croatia too.
Yes, when you can call up on that player, that mentality, that work ethic, that dedication to duty, when you can call up on that seasoned hand, man, there's nothing like it in the world. And I think it's to Real Madrid's benefit that is still available, albeit I know they would have wished Cruz to continue too, because having both of them, it would have been sensational.
But Cruz say he wants to go and rest, that he's tried. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, he's always wanted to retire at his peak.
At his peak, he said so, yes.
So it's fine, but when you can keep mining gold out of a mine that's been functioning for over 38 years, you don't stop mining. You keep mining till you max out all the things you can max out. And I think it's going to be to the betterment of the younger midfielders around him and other guys. And this is where mentorship in football comes to play, because if he can adapt somebody and literally bring the person up, that's what mentorship does.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. That game is going to happen at 8:45. Croatia versus France. All of them are playing the same time. The other quarterfinal happening in that league is Denmark is going to play Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo is still playing for Portugal, so he's going to be their captain tonight. He's 38 years. He still wants to play the World Cup next year. Probably he's trying to one last dance for him to probably win that World Cup. It's going to be tough, but let's see. We'll know if it's still possible for him to win that World Cup. I think that's the only trophy missing in his career. So he wants to match Messi. Messi has won every trophy available to him. Only World Cup.
Will he also match him in the Ballon d'Or?
No, he has won it. That's the main thing. He don't need to win 10 World Cups. He need to win one. So which he has won. He has won Ballon d'Or already. So I think his only trophy is missing in his cabinet is this World Cup. So let's see if he's going to lead them to that World Cup next season. But in this game against Denmark, they have a young squad. I think they have one of the best midfield pairing. Now Neves from PSG is doing well. I think there's another young boy too that is playing with Neves at PSG that is doing well too. And they have Vitinha, that's what name I'm looking for. They have Neves and Vitinha that is playing the vital role for PSG, pushing PSG to win the Champions League. Now they have Fernandes from Manchester United who is scoring goals every left, right, center. They have a good squad.
Penalties.
Now you said that one. They have a good squad and they have a talisman like a good striker like Cristiano Ronaldo. Though they should be winning this game against Denmark.
No doubt, it should be a game that they should be comfortably winning. But then the question is going to be potential firepower versus a team that knows how to defend well. Who is going to come out on top on the day?
You don't see Denmark last 5 match.
Yes.
You see how they play.
Mm-hmm.
You see them be Bolaji.
Mm-hmm.
Them be Odogu Bolas. Then they play.
Don't be saying they play. What's the productivity?
Then they win match. Check their last 5 matches. They've won at least 3 of them. You get. I'm just saying in this scenario now, let's leave the hype around the Portuguese side and look at the underdog in this scenario, the Danish side, and see that they have players who could make the runs. You see them in the Premier League, you see them putting in the effort. You get. In the Portuguese side, we only see the Ismaila, Rafael, that is always smiling. You get. And if you ask end product now you're supposed to ask end product for Rafael. You get. On the right, we don't see people putting up the numbers from the right. You get. Maybe let's say if Trincao comes in, what is his numbers? If he comes
what about Conceição?
What is his numbers? So you have players that their numbers don't add up, and they are meant to supply just one person in front of goal, Ronaldo, which in the past 4 games there's been that lack of supply up front. Let's be honest, there's been that shortage of supply coming from the midfield to the person in front of goal. There's been shortage of supply. So how do you expect them to win a game when they don't supply the person who's supposed to get the goals? There's this atmosphere of, maybe I'm seeing it from an angle of maybe I'll be Ronaldo fan also. There's this pride that you must not complete that number. in that Portuguese national team side. This atmosphere of pride, I can do, if you can do it, I can do better. And because I can do better, you end up not passing the ball around. We saw when it happened in Benfica side against Barcelona, and they didn't because everybody felt like they could put in the numbers themselves. Not one person's effort. And if we keep saying this person is good, and Rafaela has the ball and refuses to pass it to a Bruno Fernandes making the run, or to a Ronaldo making the across it to a Ronaldo making the run, we begin to see a problem in the Portuguese side, and they will end up not getting the goals. Until they fix that problem, I don't see Portugal coming up on this one.
They have a coach that they wasted the golden generation. I think the coach was the problem.
I disagree. The coach can be the problem. Yes,
Martinez was one of the problems. If you ask
who is start for that, see, more call the people in start to, because plus tactics plus individual play, let's say call them Abi, and now you've called them the golden generation, the Telemans, the Kevin De Bruyne's, the Eden Hazard and Torgan Hazard, the Romelu Lukaku's, who again did that midfield. So he had like the best attack and the half of the best, not even the best midfield, half of the best midfield.
The best midfield, man. Let's not go there.
At the time, Telemann don't follow for the best.
Bro, let's not go there. You forget this man with the carrier for mine.
Who?
Fellaini.
Fellaini na best.
Excuse me.
I think they had a good generation, truthfully.
This other Dembele, uncle.
Now they tell you now.
Dembele.
But they don't follow for the best.
Bro, forget that thing.
Check the match they lose.
That midfield and this midfield, which one better? No, let's not go there. That golden generation midfield versus this midfield now, which one better?
It beats this one hands down.
So what are we saying?
But in the words there, you don't follow for the best.
Oh, but you leave that to you. We are talking about relevant to the team. They had the best midfield in the golden generation era. Just like England had the best midfield.
Calm down now. I understand. The Euros final way England go. The team where they meet, who gets end product pass? Now wait till you go use judge, because when Belgium lose for that World Cup semi-finals, which team they meet where they lose? Compare their team then and the team where they play against. Then you can't know whether they get the best at the time.
If you look at what they had the Lukaku, they had the fine Hazard.
In front of goal, they had
they had the Bruyne behind them.
Yes.
They have
Axel with
that was them.
Fellaini.
That year, compare that De Bruyne and Paul.
9 goals of Inter Milan. 9 goals. Yes.
Now, wait, who was starting?
What are you not saying, man?
Compare that lineup to the France national team lineup at that time.
It's not about at that time. You can have a good player and you are playing negative football, negative tactics, negative instructions from the goalkeeper. Yes.
Leave this way that they call. I go cut
other way around from sports. Go the other way around.
No mess. That year.
What are we saying, man? With this guy in between the posts, what are we saying, bro?
2018 World Cup. Now we talk about that. That was the golden generation they lost. Now, when they went to the third round, or what's it called, third playoff, that they went to take the third place against the English team that they side that they played against. Compare them against that English team, then compare them against the France team, then compare them against the Croatian team, then compare them against the Argentine side.
We are not comparing. No. We are not comparing them with this. We are saying that this is the golden generation of Belgium. We are not comparing them to other teams. We are saying in that generation, they had the best hands and the managers
had the best hands, but the teams they met had a better hand.
It's not about the teams they met, because you can have a good team. Why did Real Madrid lose so sheepishly to Barcelona home and away? Why?
See, you can have the best hand, but when you meet a better team,
it's not about meeting a better team. It's not about meeting a better team.
You know that you met a better team
because they had liabilities in their defense. So you can have the best hands, you can have the best coaches and whatever, but you can have issues that make you not win it. And in this scenario, it was the manager with his negative tactics.
I disagree that he's the manager, because I saw a good lineup. I saw a good stand-up.
It's not about a good lineup does not mean that you have this thing. It's not about that.
I also like the team he played against at the time were just better than he is.
I disagree, man.
The manager he met at the time was just tactically smarter than tactically outsmarted him.
I disagree.
So he lost the best generation. Let's agree to disagree that it's not totally his fault.
Okay.
The player self did not put up the work, because
I disagree.
As a coach, if my tactics don't choke, individual brilliance according to you, because when you talk for this show, you talk say when they say Real Madrid na individual brilliance, which
Of
means
course, yes.
Ancelotti no get am again. So if the team is as good as you say it is, individual brilliance would have rescued them to get the World Cup.
Where
would have rescued them.
was the individual
Wait now,
brilliance against
would have
Barca?
rescued
Wait,
them.
no,
Would
let's
have
go
rescued
there.
them to
Where
get
was the individual brilliance
What's it called?
against FCB? Where
na
was it
league be
against
that na
Lille?
league be
No,
that
where was it
you na
against
you talk
Lille?
na league
No,
be that.
no, excuse me. Where was it in the Champions League against Lille?
John,
You go on, you guys play tired, no evidence.
Even if you have individual brilliance, you will not win all your games. If you have the best coach, you will not win all your games.
Thank you.
But for me, I just think that
now what do you think? I mean, yes, try correct that impression. Say
I just think that you
not be totally in fault.
Not be totally his fault.
Not be totally in fault because the team wey meet the coach outsmart am. The players better pass the players.
It's not about being outsmarted.
What I hated about his tactic was he was playing a 3-man defense. That when
Thank
he
you.
go all attack, he had all the attacks. That's only one of the faults I faulted him.
9 minutes at some point now, and na in style. You see, they play even for Portugal side. If you look at with the way the Portugal setup, forget you see. I keep saying what I see on paper and what I see on the field are two different things. The style of play on paper, I like to look at what you call tactical flexibility when your team plays. And if your team does not have that tactical flexibility, you as a coach for me is a no.
Do you think that you can take Portugal to the next level? That's the main
for
question.
this team now. I don't talk the elephant in the room is for them to address the channels that are creating the chances and the channels that are bearing those chances. If they cannot link those channels properly and everybody is hustling for themselves, what happened to Benfica against Barcelona? What happened to them?
Okay. Another thing to note is that I think Martinez should be able to bench big names to get people who are ready to work. Like for me, I will never start Rafael Leao in that national team. I'll put him on the bench and bring him on 5 minutes to the end of the game. Consistently for 10 games till he stops his rubbish spinning and smiling and he gets down to the work. Because you can have talent like we do, both loads of talent like Neymar, but bro, if you are not focused on your work or diligent on your job, you turn out like he did. And spinning around, smiling, losing opportunities that the team needs to deliver the result, not giving the man who should be getting the ball. It's tantamount to saying that, hey, I came here to play around and faff around. And I'm not going to stand for that.
Well, the coach is going to decide he's going to start in that attack. They have enough attack. Ronaldo, even Silva from Manchester City can play from the right if he wants to play from that right. So let's see how he's going to set up his team against Denmark in this quarterfinal. But the question is, will Ronaldo and his boys and their coach too win the World Cup next season? I think next year, that's their main focus and main target, not even this national league. But it's still important for them to win these games. It helps boost the team morale. Okay, the final game in this quarterfinal is Italy versus Germany. Germany is a team that have not really done well in the past couple of years, even though they hosted the Euros last time and reached that semi-finals when they lost to Spain. That 1 goal, 2 goals to 1, 1 goal to 0 or 2 goals to 1.
They lost to Spain. They league election. They do handball. When Spain do handball, referee no blow. They go use and go counter them, score them.
That one concern you.
I didn't say anything. I don't say anything. But was it because the referee now? I think was last month. He came out to apologize that was clearly handball. It was.
He did not apologize anything. He was just talking anything. Plainly. I'm telling you that if VAR, because the referee cannot make final decision. If there is an incident,
what if VAR call it back and he says is
no, he cannot call it back. If VAR says, look at this incident,
and he looks at it and
you go and look at all the VAR tells you continue. There's nothing in it. You continue your game and continue. Because VAR didn't tell him to go to the screen, so he didn't go to the screen.
VAR discretion is allowed.
It's not about viewer discretion. It's about
the judge's discretion is allowed.
It's not about judge's discretion.
At some point, VAR will say, and referee will decide that okay, I don't give you a look card, I don't give you a look card. May the match continue.
No, see, VAR cannot intervene for yellow cards. VAR can only intervene for red cards. If they give you, if you miss, even if you don't get the ball, it was a clear tackle and they give you a yellow card, it stands. It's except it's a red card, then VAR has to review it, see if it's a red card. So, but it's not a refuse for it. What has happened. But
what has happened?
If you look at the squad for Germany, I think
back and go and check.
I think Germany has a good squad. Italy has been trying to build, though that they have made the 2 World Cups now, but they are trying to build something nice there. But it's going to be a tough game between Italy and Germany. But who do you think will come out on top?
For me, I'll be backing my guys, Germany, no doubt. Yamal, Musiala, and a couple of other guys in that setup. But of course, you have to give credence to Italy. You have to give credence to that midfield, to one certain young man, or let's not call him a young man because he's actually almost old. I'm talking about the Marco in that midfield. The Marco has saved Italy a couple of games by scoring and creating chances for the team. And if he's having a good day today, it's going to be hard for Germany to be able to break them down. But Germany are going to come away with all 3 points.
From that left, he just called him out.
Scoring
It
goals
was,
for
it was
Italy.
it was facing a ban at some point.
Whose fault was it that he was facing a
Na
ban?
gambling ban.
No,
At some
whose
point,
fault was it that
at
he
some
was
point,
facing
if
a
he's in the
ban?
team, he's creating chances for fun. You get? You
It's
know,
not about if
you know,
he's
called
in the
Barella,
team. Who force and go
the
do
bazooka
gambling?
man. The bazooka man. You know, he just called the Marco because of a slight touch of goal. It's just like in the Man United side, you're saying Scott McTominay, best player, because of saying they score one sheepish goal like that. Call the people that do the work. The defense line has been fantastic for Italy in a very long time now. The defense line, they don't concede careless goals. The midfield have always stood solid. When they have the ball, you know they have the ball. They don't lose it. The attack line. So I'm not going to say one. I'm not going to mention one person's name. I'm going to say the collective unit for the Italian side have always functioned, but they are meeting the German side who have the energy, the pace, the physicality to go the length, the full length. How would they fare against that side? That's what
The
my
German
problem
machine.
is.
It's going to be a fantastic game in the quarterfinal of the National League. So let's see who will. All of them are happening at the same time. 8:45. All of them are playing the same time. So let's see who is going to qualify for the semi-final of that competition. The other National League games are happening around Europe. That they call it the group T though. But these people that are playing the quarterfinal, they top their group, so they will remove them and they will continue playing like a knockout stage. The others will just be playing as a normal, yes, just complete their match as a normal game. So I'm going to tell you some of the big games happening. Austria will play Serbia, Ukraine will play Belgium. Talking about that, this Belgium golden generation, they don't have a golden generation again, but Courtois is back after having problems with the coach. He's back with the national team. Greece will play Scotland. Turkey will play Hungary in this game. So let's see who wins in these games happen everywhere in Europe. Okay, let's go out to South American games, but it's happening 12 midnight, 1 a.m. in the night, 2 a.m. in the night. That's when all the 3 games are happening for South America because of their time zone. We have different time zones. Paraguay will play Chile by exactly 12 midnight. And Brazil will play Colombia and Peru will play Bolivia. Okay, let's talk about Brazil and Colombia because that's one of the biggest games in South America that's happening by 1:45 a.m. in the morning. Brazil has not really done well. We'll be talking about them falling from grace, moving from the Ronaldinho, the Rivaldo, Ronaldo de Lima, Cafu, many great players.
They call him. I be like say I want cry. Just
now, if you look at the squad that I saw their when they called only shining like that was Neymar. Neymar that was supposed to make the squad actually is pulled out for injury, so he's not playing. So, but if you look at their star player is Vinicius.
Anthony wasn't even called up.
Anthony even called up because he's still trying to cover his game.
Are you sure saying no call your boy?
Who? No, leave Lucas. Leave Lucas. Apology. I know why you call him.
The kind of players they have now, Joelinton, good players though, but you can't compare them with the greats that play with Brazil. But in this game against Colombia, what do you think will happen in that game?
Bruno Guimaraes, Paqueta, Joelinton. This is a midfield that can win. And this guy in Mufati Wanderers, the Nunes guy in midfield. You get, this is a complete set of midfield that could go on and get you results. Then in front of goal, you have a Rodrigo and Vinicius Junior, and God, thank God he's not. They've forgotten him. Let them just forget him wherever he is. The Richarlison, I bet I call the name. When they just forget and where in there because that guy know they add anything to the team. I just feel like the Brazil team, they've gone and they've met with the Celestial beings and they just fell from there and now they are just chilling and waiting for that kind of era to come again.
It will not come again.
And it will not come again. It's not come again.
You know, at some point, Juninho for Lyon was even playing first team. Kaka was even making the first team for Brazil. It was
and Juninho was scoring free kicks. Oh my God.
Kaka was struggling to make that team.
Did you see when the coach was making selection and he was like, who is going to take free kicks? And he looked at everybody. There was a Carlos, there was a Cafu, there was a Kaka, there was a Ronaldo. There was everybody ready to take free kicks. And if he's not available, take. And the other guy was like, what about me? He said, hi. just anybody that is feeling lucky should just take, because that's what team selection is now about Brazil. If you're feeling lucky, just make the team sheet. I'll select the team from training. So I just feel like in this Brazil side now, we know who is going to start with our eyes closed. Even when you say the Brazil league is stuff, they are buying players and they are shipping players to England, we know who is going to start with our eyes closed. We know that in the front you have Vinicius Junior and Rodrigo. But I just feel like in this time around now, with the form this guy has put up in the past 2 months, he should be on that list. He should be starting.
Who is that?
The Anthony guy. In that midfield.
Please,
calm down.
Do not listen to Nonso.
Calm down. In that midfield, we have everybody that they need to start. The Gimiresh, the Jolinto, the Jolinton, the Paqueta, the Nunes. They start in midfield. You get, and in defense, if you have any other person aside from Gabriel that can partner well with Gabriel, let him start alongside him and let them just put up the best performance they can put up.
I think you know, for all the talk about the Celestial Brazil, we talk about all the things that they've achieved and all the conquests they've been able to go on. I think Brazil are in dire need for another proper 9.
Yes.
Dire need for another proper 9 because
probably they can try Vinicius at number 9.
Please, let's not go there.
The only person that can try number 9 in that team now is Rodrigo.
They can try.
The only person
or they can play 4-4-2 and play both of them.
That's what I'm saying. The only person that can
no,
try.
I'm not talking about
position.
them playing in that position. I'm talking about a
pure
number 9.
I think there's one from Santos that they're beginning to call into the national team. We don't know, but it's not say if they give you opportunity and you shine.
Hendrick though.
You get, and there's still Hendrick.
They have to call after Neymar pulled that they have to call Hendrick
to take over. Now, like I say, if they call you up and you don't show up, next time they're not gonna call you up.
Okay, let's see what happens in South America. Okay, let's get your prediction for that game, Brazil and Colombia. Who wins?
Brazil. Straight up.
I have my guy in Colombia. I am saying Brazil.
2-0.
Is it not Brazil? This Chelsea guy is playing for Colombia.
I have my guys in Brazil. I'm in Colombia. You guys are saying Brazil.
Brazil winning it, man.
The Liverpool guy.
Diaz.
Uh-huh.
And then who Diaz help?
And the midfield setup.
Who Diaz help?
I said the place for them too.
Who Caicedo help?
If you're going to agree with Brazil, let's look at the Brazilian side and say, okay, fine. But I don't think the Brazilian side are winning it.
Okay, let's see who wins that game. Brazil and Colombia. Okay, other prediction, Paraguay and Chile. Who wins?
Draw.
It's a draw. Then Peru and Bolivia. Who wins?
Chile for me. Chile for
you.
Chill.
Chile. Okay, that's all for the international football. Let's talk about transfer a little bit because Chelsea are in the news again. Yes. They have signed 2 players from Sporting Lisbon.
Spending money with no direction.
74 million euros on 2 young players. Quinda, born in 2026, and Isugo, born in 2025. Both of them
2005, you mean?
Sorry, 2005, 2006, and 2005. Both of them were born 2006 and 2005. Both of them are coming from Sporting Lisbon.
I don't know why.
Quinda will join next year, 2026. Born Isugo will join this summer. What do you make of this?
I don't know why wait. Let's not do this thing. I don't know why I am led in the spirit to call this man money misroad. Because bro, who are you signing? Like, what's the direction?
You know how many players they have signed? Young players.
What's the direction? Una just the load players who una go sell at a deficit. How far?
And giving them 8 contract.
And 8-year contract where you no go play it 3, then push you out. It don't make sense.
What do you mean? What did you make of this transfer? Chelsea has been
Secondly, they are buying players that other teams are moving to buy.
Do you know what is interesting? When football was actually the money thing has not been great in football, you go to this place and buy a young player for maybe about £1 million,
yes,
or 2 million.
Yes, they call million.
And they'll bring
they buy player for 100,000 before.
And they bring them
17-year-old. You buy a player for 30,000 pounds.
They bring them to England and test them if he was. But now you see a 16-year-old player that probably played maybe 10 games or they just promoted him to the first team.
No,
and they are paying 40 million euros for him.
It's crazy.
I think Quenda is 60 million or so. Then the other guy is just complimentary for 15 or so. So I just feel like this Quenda case, we talked about it, I think it was last week, about Man United scouting him and Man United fans wanting him to come. And we understand the negotiations behind it, that even though they had a conversation with Man United, but Man United wanted him now, and they're not ready to release this player now. So it was a matter of negotiations, and Chelsea met the negotiations and said, okay, fine, we're going to pay 50 million for this player, 40 million upfront, and he joins us in the summer of 2026. And we'll see how it goes from there. And this guy, he wants to be a winger, not a wing back. You get, if you look at his profile, I've profiled him, he's a forward. And when I say forward, he's a right wing forward. So he's one of those players that could come in, and I keep asking myself the question mark theory in that Chelsea forward.
Yes.
Aside from Pedro Neto on that right, who else can play that right well?
Madueke.
Thank you.
Madueke plays well. And he's been playing. He was
another dimension to this conversation is that both wings are overcrowded.
They are not.
Both wings are highly overcrowded. You have a lot of wingers there.
With this guy facing a temporary ban, Mudryk facing a temporary ban, he will be out of the team for a very long time.
The problem that they cannot even continue on that thing. They will have to sell him.
Now you see, now I'm getting the temporary ban. He will be out of the team for a very long time. You have Sancho, who they are not certain would stay.
He will stay.
They are not certain. He's not
They cannot
cast on stone. Chelsea fans will be angry at you. He's not
compulsory. That deal is compulsory. They will buy. Is a compulsory buy. You have to buy him.
Now,
that's why they gave him a loan for you to buy him next.
You have Sancho, you have Pedro Neto, you have Nkunku.
Yeah, you do Felix that can play.
Felix is coming back. No be permanent move. Go. Felix day. You have Madeke. You have Kani Chukwu waiting.
Out on loan.
He's not permanent. He's not a permanent. He's a loan.
Still go back again on loan.
He comes down and no consign me. That one no. It's not about that. The bottom line is you have ways to show up a minus 103 million deficit in transfer spending for you to get hit with the PSR rule. Chelsea are not even up to 2 years. So if this deal goes through at the opening of the window, the Premier League has the right to hit them with a point deficit at the start of the season.
I think that's why they are giving them 8 years contract. They are spreading some of these things. I think they have checked it. That's why they started giving 8 years contract, which they are trying to put a minimum of years you can give a player, because if you spread out some of those money, their wages and all that to 8 years, it becomes a little bit fair. I think Chelsea are actually calculating.
They saw a loophole in the bylaws, and they are expecting.
My question is not about all those financial.
Forget about loophole. My own is
buying this. Do you know how many young players they bought from Brazil last 2 seasons?
They've not arrived though.
They have not even arrived. That's this one that is still.
Andre Santos,
no. I think it's Luis Guilherme.
Yes,
no. That one is the one that went to West Ham United.
There is one. I've
forgotten his name.
That is playing. They called him up for Brazil national team.
They called him up for Brazil. And William Estabao.
Yes,
Estabao. And there are 3 of them actually that are coming to Chelsea.
Arrived.
And they are arriving in summer of 2025 because of their age. They said until they are 19 before they can make the travel. And let's not forget that last week, or was it earlier this week, there was a sanction on Man United, Chelsea, and Man City for bringing in players above age grade and putting them under a certain age grade from from the FA. And they said some of these players, Man City, Man United, they tell you that the player is 17 years old, is going to come all the way to Man, and only for them to find out that this player has played for a higher age grade, like maybe 23 and under 23, and they are above the age bracket that the club has said they are. So it's now putting a question mark on, are you going there to buy players? Why are you not buying players across Europe? Why are you still going down to Brazil and Africa to get players in? You get me? So I'm just asking if they can continue getting these players in. For Kenda's case, I understand he's played 1.5 seasons for Sporting Lisbon now, and his numbers are up there. He can show for it. If he comes in, he would look like the Amad Diallo who came to Man United from after playing just his debut season for Atlanta, and he did well. Okay. So I just feel like for Chelsea, it becomes too much when you have these players.
Let's
open the phone line so you can get your contribution, especially about these Chelsea transfers, because it's funny how they are buying all these young players. They are not even arrived. There are many young players that have not even arrived.
17 years, and you're paying 44 million pounds.
So let's get your contribution about Chelsea, this kind of Chelsea transfer, buying these young players, giving them 8 years contracts. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Let's take the first call. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Ike from Star.
Okay, Ike, what is your contribution?
Let them go face their FFP rule, the league just alone. Put the back there, holiday for their head. Or be a Man City where they carry them for 106 pages. Let them go face their league just alone. They don't have business at all. Don't complain them. Massive fans, Man City to Chelsea. That's for doing business. Money misload. Why they don't get money? Who misload? Why not like the road? They will follow now. They're coming to Chelsea road.
So
the buyers that are doing well.
okay, IK.
You will still cry next season. I know it, and I'm waiting for you.
The problem when they never open now. Open they will get us striker. They get a good striker and add some defenders.
This
As far as they no go bridge the FF zero.
Esugo.
That we have a good.
The Esugo one that they buy.
To do business. How many times you have said from Man City to another? How many? Because how many players is pushing out every season?
How many you said? How many you said this summer? How many you said? How many you said?
Hello, okay.
I needed to ask him a question. Is he happy with the transfers they have made so far? That was the question. I'm not debating the PSR rule with Chelsea fans. No, I can't. Because now we know ourselves. You see Chelsea fans, Man U fans, Liverpool fans, Man City fans, we know ourselves. Once we sign player now, we don't sign angel.
Okay,
we don't sign the best in the world. Yeah. Until after 5 games.
Hello, good morning.
We'll come back to cost the player.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Bidding for the future. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bidding for the future. I like that. Good morning.
What's your place? Name and location, please.
Okay, the future.
Okay, fine. Okay, what is your contribution?
Chelsea is bidding for the future.
Yeah, bidding for the future. Okay.
People are saying that Chelsea and Money Misroad.
Yes, Money Misroad Club.
We don't care. We are buying for the future. Next season, Chelsea will be the best club in the whole world.
Oh wow!
So okay, in the next 5 seasons.
Yes.
Okay, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
If by 3 months into the next season, the players you bring in are not giving you the numbers, will you still be happy with the transfers you've made?
We'll buy more.
Simple. All right, thank you very much. I like Chelsea fans.
I like that. Till it stops working, then they'll carry placard.
I like that they keep buying
They will carry placard.
They don't care. With the answer he gave, there's no need to debate with the Chelsea fan.
I'm telling you, man.
They always buy more.
They are buying club. Everybody knows they are buying.
They always buy more.
If it's not working, they fix it with another buy. So let's leave them alone. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, Emmanuel, what is your contribution?
I want to confirm what happened to me. I heard about that.
Yes, he had a substance that he took that he's not supposed
to take.
Drug
test, wahala.
So he has been banned for about 3 months now. He has not played football.
Sorry.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you. People now probably have forgotten that he's even at Chelsea.
Even before
he's not even playing well.
Before the substance check.
He wasn't playing well.
He wasn't playing football. He was on the bench.
Okay, let's take the final call before we end the show. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Name and location, please. Okay.
God, I heard you.
Good morning, Bishop.
The truth is this. I don't think the plan is working.
Yes.
I don't know. Yes, the management, I don't think they are getting it right.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the plan is to get them and maybe if the players, they will see them on the high.
Mm-hmm.
But the plan is not working. It's not. I don't think they will keep all of them to play for them, but they also want to make money from them. So it's not working. Because for you to see them on that high and make money like Dortmund, like Lille, like
yes.
Not club, they need to be playing and be giving you the numbers. If you so you get, but they don't. Sometimes they bring them at the point on their own. Some of them want to go because they are not playing. They are not seeing future.
Mm-hmm. Secondly,
the club will want to push some because they feel like it's a bad business and the wrong thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are not what they should them. Thirdly, they will go on loan. Maybe before they will leave, some of them that feel trusted or some of them the club want to buy, they will negotiate loan. If you even agree for a loan, you negotiate loan. You always have an upper hand. Maybe because the player is not performing, the player is not playing. They have been on the bench for like 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody is coming for a loan. The person will come to as in that is helping you.
Mm-hmm.
You get?
Yes.
So the plan is not working. I think we should change the plan.
Okay.
They should change the plan because it's not working. They are buying young people and all that. No. As they come, so they will leave. And they will still go and spend the big money, 70, 80, 100, to bring somebody they think that is already capable, already established player. It's not working. I'm not seeing it.
All right.
But me,
Yes.
I support you. It's a mandatory and compulsory buy.
Yes.
Give us the money for Sancho.
Yes.
We have our hashtag. We must give us our money.
Yes.
We are taking our money, not Sancho.
Yes.
And I go collect Sancho back. It no work, it no work.
Yes, that's why it's a compulsory buy. So
They go
just
collect Sancho back.
Like,
they have to just
IS will go pay the fine.
they must pay the complete
they
money.
will not pay any fine. They have to buy Sancho.
IS will go pay the fine to
They
break
will not.
contract.
It's a lie. They have to buy Sancho. It's a compulsory, but that's the deal. They have to pay at the end of the summer. Let's see what happens with Chelsea. Chelsea have been doing a whole lot of transfers. Young players coming back from loan. Players they have bought that will join them next season. They are up to like 7 now. But let's see if all of them will fit into Maresca's. But that's the problem about having a owner that just buy players, because I don't think Maresca is asking for these players.
Of course.
They will buy this player and give him and force him to make it work. Which if it's not working, they'll start blaming Maresca. So his hands are tied for this Chelsea, because part of 3 seasons now they took over. These guys took over. The amount of players they have bought, young players that's not working, is crazy.
Well over 1.4 billion.
Look at Abramovich was buying established players that was winning them trophies.
Of
That's
course.
why they were winning trophies.
Of
Players
course.
that were established, they are doing well in the club they bought them from, and they are winning trophies.
The club they copy this playbook from Arsenal. Arsenal have never spent up to 10 million buying a young player. How much did they buy
The man says he wants to build a team like Real Madrid who have players for the future.
Okay, let's see what happens with
Sorry
Chelsea.
for the
Let's see
gods.
what happens with Chelsea, how they are going to be fair next season when all these players join them. All the players on loan will still join them next season. They have to say a whole lot of players. They have to buy, especially this Sancho. They have to pay that money for Sancho.
They must
For
pay
the
that
national
money.
leagues happening in quarterfinals, let's sit down and enjoy it. 7:45 the game starts. So let's see who qualify for the semi-final of National League games. My name is Godwin. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow to talk about Nigerian Super Eagles. They play tomorrow against Rwanda tomorrow by 5 p.m. So tomorrow we'll come here and talk about that game on the show. My name is Godwin again, and bye for now.
Enugu, and welcome to Vote 104.
When you have Enzo Fernandez, you have Caicedo, you have Lavia, you still they buy a soup.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Vote 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
They are buying, I think they are giving money on this.
Thank you.
I'm not telling anyone. Why are you buying our
Hey,
Wait, you have Lavia, they have Caicedo.
yes, you have Enzo too. You want to play with James in that position. You are still bringing Esugo now. You also have Willian and Kendrick Paez that is joining in December. What do you want them? No any excuse. Oh,
God is within people.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Vote 104.3 FM.
For the hottest takes on